Hello, fishy friends. Welcome back to another update. Wait a minute. It's not a welcome back. It's our very first update. This is going to be a monthly update of the fish tanks for Supreme Aquaria. And this is our first time doing this. I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a very raw video. This is showing off the tanks from the very beginning, and it's going to show off some fish a little bit later and the tanks as they appear today. But I want to show some introduction to what we were planning on doing with these tanks. Again, this is one rack and maybe one tank in the corner that we might eventually get to start setting up. But this has just gone through the initial cycle. All these tanks have been cycled. I have some shrimp in this tank. You can see the algae piling on. That's not a bad thing. Goldfish, again, they're just cycling through. So we're getting through that whole cycle process, getting some good anaerobic and aerobic bacteria going, and just establishing these tanks. You can see from these tanks, I am way more into the fish than I am aquascaping. These are not display fish tanks. These are display fish tanks. So this is going to be fun, but every single month I'll be bringing you exactly what we're doing at Supreme Aquaria. I don't even have a logo kind of intro done yet, but here are the tanks currently. This is all set up as of the middle of July. All the tanks are going really, really strong. I'm getting babies. I'm having success with a lot of the fish that I'm keeping, and you're going to ask, well, what kind of fish do you keep? Well, I keep anything from guppies. This is a beautiful, beautiful albino guppy, and she is full. She's been having a lot of babies for us, and we're very appreciative of that. But she's full. She's by herself. She has about 30 babies, every single brood. Beautiful, beautiful animal. Here's some of the babies that have already grown up. They're on top. You can see actually the male right in the middle, the beautiful red. The fish on the bottom are subocellatus. It's a type of a crebenza, if anybody has kept crebenzas in the past. Really, really like that fish. Very good parents. We're going to see some videos on all of these fish, both from a display standpoint and also how we feed them. We're going to talk about the equipment. We're going to talk about live foods. We're going to talk about the fish. We're going to talk about breeding. This is going to be a fun channel, and I want a lot of interaction from everybody. If you keep fish like this, let me know. If you don't keep fish like this and you have questions, let me know. But on this very first video, I'm just trying to give some kind of an introduction and some of the types of fish that we keep. This is a wild live bear. We picked up 2 pair at the Milwaukee Aquarium Society auction last fall of 2020. One pair didn't do so well. This pair did great. We haven't had any babies from them yet, but I love the wild live bears. This is another live bear. This is a Lima, and we just love any of the wild live bears. Wild bettas, any of the wild stuff is really something that we want to work with and populate more in the hobby. You can see the male up there. The female's chasing him off. She's pretty full. She's very gravid, and she's ready to drop some babies any day now. You can see some of the baby cribs. I'll call them cribs, but they're actually subocellatus. It's a different genus and species, but we've had a lot of success with them. We're having success with these live bears. Oh, that male looks just gorgeous, and the female doesn't want him anywhere close. We love the shell dwellers. These are Lake Tanganyikis, and the animal is a Lamprologus congoensis. And this animal lives actually in the shell, breeds in the shell. Babies are born in the are hatched out in the shell and come out and feed. They're just teeny tiny. This adult pair is probably about 2 inches or so in length. We have a pair in here. We have those flower pot watering things in there, and they just love those, but they actually live in these little shells. You can just see how beautiful the pair is, the male and the female. Very, very good parents. They interact very well. They're great feeders. Really a fun group of fish to work with. There's so many of these little shell dwellers. They all get to be about 2 inches or so, some a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and feed. We do a lot of frozen brine shrimp. We do blackworms. And again, we're going to get into that a lot as this series goes on. With each update, I'll try to bring more and more information to the table on how we're keeping these fish. But we'll talk about food. We'll talk about their care, their setups. Again, I'll mention that these setups are just basic setups for the care of the animals. They're not elaborate displays. You can see algae all over the place, and that's not a bad thing. I like algae. Algae is good. It's not great to look at, but it's certainly great for the babies and for the parents. It helps clean the whole water system. So here's a really neat animal. This is the rainbow gunggeon. And we'll see if we can get some babies from these guys. This pair is about 3 inches, and I don't know if we're going to see the male. That's the big female there. And we got these animals about 2 months ago. They've settled into this 10-gallon very well. They're doing great. There's the male. Female's going to chase him off. She wants to breed, and he's probably not ready just yet. I think I need some ditherfish in here, and the ditherfish is something that pulls the attention away from the male or female so that they don't pick on each other. This is one of my favorite animals. This is Apistogramma Agazizi or Agazizi. I think it's Agazizi. I've heard it pronounced both ways, but just a beautiful, beautiful animal. Those purples are amazing. Here's Apistogramma Cockatoy. He's one of my all-time favorites, and here's his mate. And do you notice anything on the bottom? That's right, we have some fry. It took them probably about 5 months to really settle in and grow up, but now you can see that female in full display caring for her babies. This is why we keep fish, and sorry for the very blurry picture here. I'll get better. These videos are going to be very, very nice, and they're going to be interesting. Come back and see us. We'll have a lot of stuff to show.